Hey guys, it's day 3 of the marathon of questions. This question's a good one. Did Jeshua, know his teachings would affect the world? Did he make any attempts to mitigate the harm that will be done in his name? First of all, he had no idea of the harm that would be done in his name. He was delivering a message, and the crucifixion itself, people want to make a lot of, balancing the energy of sin and taking away the sins of the world and all of this stuff. Jeshua went to the cross because he was becoming a rock star and his teachings weren't being remembered. He was outshining the teachings. He was outshining the teachings. He also knew that the people that were following his teachings were going to be harmed in a very big way. They're going to be hunted down and killed or harmed in some way if he didn't end basically decapitate the movement in a way. But what he did was really smart. He literally gave the teachings out to the disciples. And when you think of the disciples, you should think of them more like bishops in the Catholic Church, right? These are like people who are in control of areas of the world. This is your diocese, that's your diocese, this is your diocese, this is your region, right? He sent Peter to Rome, he sent John to Turkey, and he left his brother James in Israel, right? So he was moving the teachings out all over the world, and then he went to his death so that the teachings would go on, and that the perceived end of him, they would think that it was over, but he knew it wouldn't be because the teachings were out. The teachings were the important part to him, and he didn't want us to suffer. He literally did not want us to suffer, and he gave himself up. He went there to do that. He went there to be tried. He went there to be ended, and he knew he was doing that. But your question, did he know his teachings would affect the world? He hoped, and that's not exactly what the answer most people would like me to say, because he was putting the potential into the world for us to make choices, and our choices were to love one another or not. I leave you this one commandment: love one another. And so he gave us the love of putting it in our hands to deal with it. Now, many people have taken and manipulated his teachings, manipulated his words, manipulated, the Bible itself. I mean, the early Bible says, whatever you ask in God's name is granted. The later Bible says, whatever you ask in Jesus' name is granted. Well, Jesus himself never wanted to be deified. Jeshua wanted to be, was just an example, not deified. He's saying, look, this is who you are. Greater works than I have done you will do. It's your faith that heals you. He didn't say your faith in me. He said your faith that heals you. So it really comes down to each one of us stepping into that divinity, and that's what he wanted. And I would think, and I don't know what he actually thought, but I would think that someone would not go to the cross without belief and faith that why he was going there didn't matter. And I think he believed that the teachings were getting out there, and that he had already basically assured that the teachings were not only going to get out there but spread. That's why he sent people to different parts of the world, so that the teachings can start to spread. And so people have done things in his name that are horrible. Hitler was a Christian. Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, was a Christian. There's a lot of people who do horrible things in the name of Christ. But Christ was not his name. His name was Jeshua ben Zebedee. No, I'm sorry, Jeshua ben Joseph. I'm Hannah ben Zebedee, or I was. I mean, well, the memories I have are of Hannah ben Zebedee. He was Jeshua ben Joseph. He was someone who literally was a man, and that man was beautiful and funny and caring and compassionate and bucked the norms, did not do anything that you would expect a Jewish man of that era to do, because everything he did came from love, came from bliss, from the place of that loving bliss. And even when, people treated him poorly, Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. There's a big depth in that question, that comment, right? And I don't believe he ever used the word father in that way, because I don't believe he believed in God as separate and as a patriarchal deity. I believed he believed in the oneness of God, but I do believe that he forgave them because he understood why they were doing it. He understood the fears and the anxieties that he was putting into the people who were harming him. And I believe he had compassion for their fears that they were acting upon. And he also understood that they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't understand that they were acting out of fear. And that to me is important. So I hope that answers your question, because that was a good one. I really like that one. And we're going to be moving on to 4 in the next video. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.